What up YouTube, this is your boy Liger, one half of Endure, with another WTF video. Here we go again. This WTF video is basically talking to modern gamers. I need to understand something. The topic came from a video from The Escapists. There's a YouTube channel that has other YouTubers on there, and one of them is basically called The Zero Production by Yahtzee, a guy from Australia that does reviews, and I'll sub to that because I love his reviews. It's funny, it's sarcastic, it's just, and he S's on every console, which I like that. I'm an equal opportunity, Esther, I don't care. And he did the review on Evolve, which he said something that's priceless, which I'll play at the end of this video because it's just needed. But it is something that modern gamers, I don't think they understand, and I would love to understand about it, because in the comment section, if you go to that video, you go to the comment section, you see that they're talking about he brought up DLC a little bit, and then people are commenting saying, yo, thank you that you didn't bring up the DLC. And there's an argument in there like, oh man, it's just cosmetics, it's just skin, that should not be counted against the game, and they're defending it, and whatever, I don't care. And once again, you buy what you want to buy. But I do have to say something about that whole thing where people, the modern gamers, why you guys are defending the whole, it's just skin, it's just cosmetics. I mean, if it's just skins or cosmetics, those, and then they're selling it to you, that's something that should have been in the game. That's a paywall right there that should not have been there in the first place. Now, the reason I'm saying that, because I'm going to give you a good example of what you guys have been led to accept, and it should be accepted in the first place. Let's go back to retro gaming, where I come from, and most of the people on my side of the argument is coming from. We're going back to the 90s, and most of you gamers have not been born in that time, or you just got born and gaming was nothing to you. But let's go back to the 90s, to a little company in a little game called Street Fighter. Back in the day, Street Fighter, when they played a game, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter Champion Edition, World Warrior, even back then, Capcom was milking that thing with a lot of iterations, but whatever. When you bought that game, all you had to do was press a button, and you changed the person's color of their gi or skin tone, like Blanco or Zangief. And it was in the game already, coded, ready to go. Some of you might say, well, that was cartridges back then. Okay, well, let's go to a more recent game. Okay. They've been doing it from that Street Fighter 3, the Alpha series, everything up to that. And let's go to a game that's in the 2000s. Capcom vs SNK 1 and 2. In those games, they gave you the ability to make your own skin color, your own gi, your own style. So you can make a dark Akuma, a dark Ryu, a dark anything you want to do, and play with that game, save it and play with that game for free. No extra money, no different costs. That was a good thing. Then came Street Fighter 4. Yeah, and then when Street Fighter 4 came out, that you could attach DLC and everything to it, they started charging you for different costumes, or in other words, skins. It had no significant properties to it. It was all aesthetics, as you say, but they were charging $3 for different costume for Ryu, Ken, blah blah blah. And it's not like an RPG where have a hat gives you 2 more hit points, or have a shoes, kind of like in Splatoon or in RPGs. And even RPGs that do the whole, you gotta pay for that, I don't like. That's disgraceful itself. I don't like that. You gotta pay to win. That's horrible on its own. But that perpetuated the whole thing as well with Call of Duty, with the whole $199 for a gun skin that you barely could see and has no attributed factors to the game. $199. Are you flipping kidding me? And the thing about it is, people are going out by hundreds of thousands and buying these extra skin that don't mean nothing. Technically speaking, this is a relevant fact. I gotta bring it up, and I'm gonna keep on bringing it up until the end of 2015, and let's see what happened. But EA made $900 million off of DLC and microtransactions. Not no extra games, not the software, just straight DLC and microtransactions. That kind of stuff right there is what's bringing down the gaming, and why other people, like some people are angry about the whole DLC and why they have a negative connotation behind it, gamers, because that kind of stuff just watered down the experience. It does, and it makes a lot of gamers double think: should I buy this game? Should I not buy this game? Now again, You go out there, you buy it, you like it, okay. But again, you kind of rewarding bad behavior. EA executive, they don't care. They're thinking, oh, we made all this money with basically little effort. Well, keep on pushing it, as we see in the new Need for Speed coming out. Microtransactions. Capcom with Revelations 2, microtransactions. And I'll point this out too. The publishers are the people who lock the content, not the dev. 90% of the time is the publishers who lock the content. They see what the product is. They ask the developers, hey, what can we, what's the product so we can put things behind a paywall? And that point right there is getting discussed. And of course, the developers really can't say nothing to a point because the publishers funded the game. So they're basically up S Creek right now as a developer. They got to do what the publisher said because the contract legally binds them to do what the publisher says. It kind of sucks. But that's why a lot of people don't like the word DLC. I mean, these are stuff that is coded in the game, that's there from the get-go. They want DLC, pre-orders, all this stuff. That's why people are making a big fuss about it. And we should not back it. I mean, if you want to buy it. Because like I said, I can't argue EA. They have $900 million worth of proof. But that's the argument that we need to look at carefully. But when it comes to AAA gaming, when you see all these content locked behind paywalls, and they're just nickel and diming you the experience of having a fun game. There are good DLCs out there, don't get me wrong. There are great DLCs out there. The Witcher has some, Mario Kart, Hyrule Warriors. They have great DLC. The Evil Within, that has a good DLC setup. But there are many ways that the other companies, the bigger companies, have messed up the ecosystem, as we say. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that point up for people and hope modern gamers understand where we're coming from when we say DLC, pre-orders, don't do it. Understand the content that you're getting before you spend your money so blindlessly. There are many ways to figure out what's going on. If the game comes out and they don't tell you what's in the content of what you're paying for, trust me, it's not going to kill you to wait. So I'm going to end this right here with an extra bonus. Behind this is a quote, a phrase I should say, from the video that started this topic that I want people to hear. And he's talking about AAA gaming that I think a lot of people need to hear. Also, I'll link his video in the description. But it's also profanity laced, warning, because I don't curse that much, so just give a little warning about that. But as usual, there's no perfect game out there. What's perfect to you is perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect to you. Simply play them games.
I'm a patriotic citizen of single player, as you know. I understand the need for the nation of multiplayer, and will even holiday there sometimes to see all the people in the pavement cafes wanking for pennies day in, day out. But when the armies of multiplayer start gathering at the border, I'll be all up on that barricade like Jean Valjean. Hey, come buy this overblown multiplayer mode. Don't worry, the bots mean it's also single player, and therefore we can charge $80 for it. It's shit with bots, and you fucking knew it. Whoops, guess you better subscribe to the online service then. And while you've got that credit card out, perhaps you'd like to look over this $100 worth of DLC content we arbitrarily left out of the game at launch. AAA gaming, what the fuck do you need all this money for? Does GDC get so wild these days you have to hush up legions of rent boys with assholes stuffed full of birthday cake? Or are you just feeding it all to the dread god Nyarlathotep in return for guaranteed 8 out of 10 reviews? I know what you're not spending it on, making games good, because if you were, we'd all be on the holodeck by now, fisting Councillor Troy.